Hello, and welcome back to Azure Terraformer, holding the fort for Azure in the Terraform community. Today is the 5th episode where we'll be setting up an Azure Bastion so we can remove that pip that we created in the last episode with our Linux VM and connect to our Linux VM a little bit more securely. So again, I'm going to be kind of snagging from previous projects here just to get things, the basics set up. And let's run Terraform init. Check my providers. That's probably all I'll need. All right. Oh, I've got 2 copies of main. That was a copy pasta error, if I ever did see one. All right. Let me just copy the compute from last time. I'm just going to drop the pip. We're just not going to do the pip. It's going to go to the same subnet. We're going to have a NIC. We're not going to have a pip. We're going to call this internal, just for giggles. Okay. We're going to still use the SSH key from our key vault. That doesn't change. All of these things should stay the same. Just attaching our NIC, setting the public key from the value from Key Vault, and just like Ubuntu 1804 LTS, that should be good to go. So now, what do we need to do? So we can get this VM provisioning. What happened here? Oh, I did not. My bad. No wonder I got 2 copies there. I didn't even copy it. Okay, so we're going to get this thing provisioning, and then we're going to go and we're going to have to make updates to our network, because we're going to add a new subnet, and we're going to provision a bastion. So what we got to do is we got to go find how to set up a bastion. And basically, in order to set up a bastion, you set up a bastion host and a public IP address. And so in order to do that, I just need to reference the subnet that I'm going to create, and I'm going to create a subnet. So this subnet has to have a very special name, Azure Bastion subnet. So we'll go and we'll add that to our network project. Now here, I'm gonna pivot a little bit. We are creating a slightly new network setup here. So I'm just gonna go grab my network.tf, and I'm gonna provision my own network for this episode, just to keep things clean and tidy. We didn't do that last time, but I think things are getting a little, hairy, so we want to keep things like tight and not too much dependency on previous episodes. So I need to rip out this data reference of the subnet. Don't need that anymore. Still need my NIC. Still going to use the key vault. Okay, so we are going to have that dependency on a previous episode, but I think we're good there. I'm just going to be changing the network so much that I want all this code to be in like one folder, so you guys don't have to like provision all the things and like get confused by all the changes between episodes. So SSH key, NIC, we're fine. We need to reference this new network, so we're just going to go, well, the subnet actually, so that it actually becomes easier if I could find the right file. Our NIC is just going to, it's not a data reference anymore because we're actually going to provision it, and I believe it's still called default. Yeah. So this Okay, yeah, it's not happy. So we're gonna have to init that. And we're going to, why do I have auto-proof? Destroy. There we go. So we're gonna blow out our new network, and we're going to move the VM into that network. And I probably don't need this network rule anymore because we don't need to SSH into it. So that'll come off next deploy. But it's fine that it's in there for now. Like, whatever, no biggie. I'm not sweating it. So now on our next deploy, we need to have this subnet here, which is going to be housing our bastion, and it has to be on a matching network suffix, and we'll just put it in 0.24, 0.0.0/24. And then we are going to need a pip and a bastion host. So now I'm going to create a new bastion.tf. I'm going to drop this in here. We're going to declare war on double quotes. Now the pip I'm going to call the bastion pip, because a pip is no longer a resource that we're just going to have one of. But we are going to have one bastion. There's really no sense in having two bastions. I don't even know if you could, if you wanted to. Let's check our bastion. They want it to be BAS. Okay, I can't, and then pip, of course, prefix with pip. Let's go look at like our names and stuff. So we've got EP4. So we're going to drop bastion, and then we're just going to use this as the, I guess I'm just going to do that. And the subnet for the bastion host is going to be bastion, and the pip is going to be bastion. So we're dropping this bastion host into that subnet that we created with a special name, and we're attaching this pip that we created right here. Okay. So now I'm going to, oh, we got some errors. What file is that in? Oh, yeah, it's the resource group reference for the pip, the bastion pip. Should be good. Ah, look at me, just playing whack-a-mole here. So I do have a pip bastion ID. Azure RM subnet has not been declared. Really? Oh, Lord. And we are failing in our attempt to keep the pressure on the double quotes from infecting our beautiful Terraform 1.0 solution. All right, here we go. I think we got a winner here. So we're provisioning a network. I think I already provisioned the network. The VM should be on it. We could just go look at the subnet. Is there no EP5? Did I not? Yeah, it should. The resource group should be called EP5. Oh crap! It's called EP4. That's going to cause the whole thing to get recreated. Awesome. So I got two EP4s. Wonderful. 8 Papa 7. Kind of sad that this rando is going to go away. Actually, no, the rando will stay. We don't have to destroy the rando. But all these things are going to have to be destroyed. All these things I'm creating. Oh, Bastion takes a long time. Let's just Control C out of that. And let's try and like what? Yeah, a Bastion Bastion does take a little while, so I don't want to go create a Bastion with the wrong name and then recreate it, blah, blah, blah. We have to do a resource group destruction, boys and girls. So this is going to take a minute. You'll see on the plan that it's basically going to delete everything because we don't do resource group migrations. That's not a thing. We're basically going to have to destroy 7 things and create 10. So fasten your seatbelts and get ready for the ride. Okay. So trying to delete our resource group through an error. It looks like there's still a pip that's in our resource group that has not been deleted. So let me see if I can try and get this. I don't even see this resource group showing up. But oh yeah, there it is. It's 8 Papa 7. Yeah, okay. So I guess if I just delete this pip, force delete this pip, then should make the problem go away. Not sure. Oh, you know what? That pip is probably a hanging chad, because if you recall, I did Control C the Terraform in the middle of creation of that, and so it probably never updated Terraform state to save the pip there. And so when I go and I try and remove that resource group, it can't do it because there's a resource in there, and Terraform has no idea about that resource. So that was a bit of interesting troubleshooting. Now the resource group should go away pretty quickly. And now we only have one thing to destroy because it's our resource group. And so this thing should get toasted pretty fast. Okay, looks like we're done. I had a little break, got some tea, and checked on the deployment a few times. That tends to happen. If you want things to be clean, and not have hanging chads, sometimes it's good to just give it some time to do what it needs to do. So anyways, we've just provisioned our Bastion. Let's go interrogate our resource group. And we have EP5 out here. So we have a network. We have an NSG. We have a pip for our Bastion, which still says EP4. I'm not gonna change it at this point. We got a VM that does not have a pip, and we have a Bastion host. So now when I go and I connect to this, when I go to this VM and I try and connect to it, you can see it's got a private IP address, but I can connect using Bastion. And because I've set up the Bastion correctly, admin user, I think. So it's the same, yeah, admin user. I can select, I can plug in a password, but I haven't enabled password authentication. So I can't do that, but I can use an SSH key. Now, if I had the SSH key locally, not the best idea. I could specify the file, but I'm just gonna, I know it's in Key Vault, so I'm gonna go grab it out of my Key Vault, and I'm gonna go reference the key. Now this only works because my user account has access, has an access policy that grants me permissions to get secrets. That's why this works. Oh Lord, pop-up blocker. Jeez. That's what's killing the demo, is a bloody pop-up blocker. Love it. Allow. Yeah, okay. So it worked. So you can see, we're on this machine, and we have access to the shell, and we're doing it from a browser, right? But this is a much more secure method of doing this because it's going over 443. It's not doing SSH over port 22. And it's using the Azure Bastion service, which is a hardened endpoint, which is exposed on a pip, just like the VM was. But number one, this allows me to scale out. I can have one Bastion to connect to a whole bunch of VMs. I don't have to add a pip for every VM, right? So that's one benefit, just from an operational logistics standpoint. But, the security benefit of having this behind a hardened Bastion service does give some security enhancement as well. And so so I can add a whole bunch of VMs as long as they're on that network that has the Bastion subnet with the Bastion host service deployed there. I can connect to any of those, and I can do so very easily through the portal, using the SSH key that's stored in the key vault that I have access to. So that's pretty much it. Next episode, while Bastion is great, sometimes it's nice to be able to connect from your local environment. So in the next episode, we'll be setting up a point-to-site VPN. So I don't need a pip. For my Bastion host. I don't need a Bastion host. I don't need a pip for my VM. I'm going to be setting up a virtual network gateway, and I'm going to be using the Azure VPN client on Mac OS to connect to the VNet that I create out in Azure. So there's going to be some little bit of stuff happening in Azure Active Directory as well, not just in Terraform, but it should be a good episode. So if you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe. Also, make sure to enable your notifications so you can be aware of when I post my next video. And we'll see you next time on Azure Terraformer. Thanks again.